Don't cry. It's all better now.
Hey horror fans, what's up? If you've seen Sinners, then you already know this isn't your typical vampire flick set in 1932 Mississippi with cults, bloodthirsty immortals, and a soundtrack that slaps harder than a coffin lid in a thunderstorm. Ryan Coogler's Sinners has been blowing minds and burning up Rotten Tomatoes with a near-perfect score. But here's the question we're sinking our teeth into today. How much of the vampire lore did Sinners actually get right? And where did it take some bloody bold liberties? From garlic and wooden stakes to why vampires in this film don't even care about mirrors. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. We're diving deep into the rules that Sinners follows and the ones it totally throws out the window. So grab some garlic, just in case, and let's break down the vampire do's and don'ts in one of the best horror films of the year.
You wouldn't mind us coming in now, would you? We hungry as dogs.
Vampires must be invited. In one of the oldest and most iconic vampire rules is that they cannot enter a home or building unless invited. Sinners honors this rule with brutal precision. Early in the film, the cult leader Remick visits Joan and Bert, asking for permission to enter their home. The moment they invite him in, their fates are sealed. They become the cult's first victims, and later, its earliest vampire converts. This theme plays out again later at Club Juke, the central location of the story's climax. Smoke and Stack, who run the club, refuse to let the vampires in, protecting the survivors inside. Unfortunately, Grace, fearing for the town, extends an invitation, believing she can negotiate with the monsters. That well-meaning mistake sets up the film's terrifying finale.
We're gonna kill every last one of you.
Garlic causes vampires. Physical pain. Garlic has long been seen as a natural vampire deterrent, and in Sinners, this rule is firmly in place. The characters, once they begin to suspect what they're up against, all consume raw garlic as a test. It's a clever moment that adds both humor and tension, especially when Perline hesitates, causing panic among the group before finally swallowing the clove. While no vampire in Sinners is killed by garlic, its power is clearly real. The creatures recoil from it, confirming its use as a defense. This attention to detail keeps the supernatural elements grounded in classic lore, while still allowing room for creativity.
Oh, we got us a problem now.
What the hell going on?
Vampires are effectively immortal. Remick, the sinister cult leader, is said to be 600 years old. That fact alone cements Sinners firmly in the camp of vampire stories where the creatures do not age. Immortality is one of the most seductive and terrifying traits of vampirism, and it's well explored here. The idea is reinforced in the film's final moments. Decades after the climactic battle at Club Juke, an elderly Sammy sits alone until he's visited by Stack and Mary. 60 years have passed, but they haven't aged a day. It's a haunting moment that suggests the story isn't quite over, even as the credits roll.
To save you from your fate.
You don't need no saving.
Vampires cast. No reflections except when they do. This is one area where Sinners takes a noticeable detour from traditional vampire lore. In many horror stories, vampires have no reflections, a symbolic absence of the soul. While Sinners flirts with religious themes and morality, it completely skips over this classic visual clue. This omission feels like a missed opportunity. The film features mirrors, especially around cars and inside the club, that could have been used to subtly indicate a character's true nature. Imagine Bo catching his reflection and noticing that someone following him doesn't have one. That alone could have added another layer of dread. Wooden stakes can kill vampires. If there's one method of vampire slaying that stands the test of time, it's the wooden stake to the heart. In Sinners, this classic method isn't just acknowledged, it's central to the plot. Smoke and the remaining humans arm themselves with wooden stakes before the vampires storm the club, knowing it's their best hope of survival. One of the most emotionally charged scenes in the movie involves Smoke using a stake on Annie after she's bitten. He'd promised her earlier he wouldn't let her suffer, and the act becomes a moment of tragic mercy. However, that same compassion is what stops him from killing his brother, Stack, leading to an emotional showdown and a haunting post-credits twist.
And you are? I am. Your way.
Sunlight is deadly to vampires. Another staple of vampire mythology is their vulnerability to sunlight. While Bram Stoker's original Dracula merely weakened in the sun, most modern interpretations go further. Sunlight is fatal. Sinners embraces this rule completely. Throughout the film, vampires only operate at night. It's not until the final battle is over and the sun rises that the true horror of their nature is fully revealed. As sunlight floods the street outside Club Juke, vampires burn to ash, disintegrating in a blaze of light. This dramatic finale not only provides visual spectacle, but ties the story into the broader lore of vampire cinema. No shadows. Not in this film. Just like the missing reflections, the rule about vampires not casting shadows goes untouched. In folklore, vampires' lack of shadows is another sign of their soulless existence. Given Sinner's rich atmosphere and its frequent use of moody lighting, this could have been an excellent stylistic detail. Imagine Mary walking through the club, lights casting eerie pools across the floor, only for someone to realize her shadow is missing. Instead, this element is left unexplored. It's a minor omission, but one that fans of vampire lore may notice.
One day he's gonna follow you home.
Gunshots to the head are useless. A more modern twist on vampire rules is whether or not conventional weapons, like guns, can kill them. In some films and shows, a bullet to the brain is enough. In Sinners, not so much. This is made crystal clear when Smoke shoots Cornbread in the head. It drops him momentarily, but he soon rises again, undeterred. The bullet leaves a visible wound, marking him for the rest of the movie, but it does little to stop his bloodthirsty rampage. In Sinners, if you want a vampire dead, you'll need something a lot more old school. Our Nerdy Thoughts Sinners is a brilliant, terrifying, and emotionally rich entry in the vampire genre. It balances classic horror tropes with fresh storytelling, and while it bends or ignores some vampire rules, it does so with purpose. By sticking to the essentials, stakes, garlic, invitations, and sunlight, it honors the genre's traditions. But by skipping reflections, shadows, and certain supernatural cues, it lets its characters shine or burn on their own terms. If a sequel does emerge, perhaps we'll see Stack and Mary's story unfold in the 90s, offering more chances to explore the eerie, eternal nature of these vampires. Until then, Sinners stands as one of the most thoughtful and haunting vampire films in years. So there you have it. Sinners might not follow every vampire rule in the book, but what it does do is craft one hell of a story. Whether you're a fan of the old school Nosferatu vibes, or you're all about modern vampire mayhem, Sinners finds that sweet spot between creepy tradition and bold new horror. And let's be real, after that post-credit scene, yeah, we need a sequel. Imagine Stack and Mary wreaking havoc in the 90s. I'm here for it. If you like this deep dive, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and drop your favorite vampire movie in the comments. I want to know what bloodsucker lore you love most. Until next time, keep your garlic close and your invites locked down. Stay safe out there, night crawlers.